Hello guys, it's me again. I know you may be asking, where you been? How you been? What happened to restorations? What happened to uploads? And if you're not asking those questions, well, I'll still tell you what happened. First things first is I've been doing okay. Reason why I stopped doing restorations a long time ago, I just been busy with life. That's all it is. I've been busy. I have jobs now, and frankly, I just don't have time for restorations anymore. When I started doing restorations, I was a high schooler. I was just 17 at the time, so I had all the time in the world to just enjoy my time and do what I wanted to do. So that's why back then I would be doing it a lot. And then COVID happened and I graduated, and I only went to college for one semester only. It was just one semester, but I was still able to go to work and do restorations. And some things happened which caused me to leave school, and so for the whole year of 2021, I was just free of anything. I had a job in the mornings, and in the afternoons I was free, so I was always able to do restorations in the afternoon. And yeah, at the time I was a teenager. I had one job, and it was picking fruits out there with my parents. It depending on the season. If it was in the summer, it'd be from like 4 or 5 a.m. to like 12 p.m. around there. And yeah, that meant I had 1 p.m. until whenever I felt like stopping to do restorations. So I had almost 12 hours of just doing restorations and doing what I loved to do, which was restoring shoes for you guys. My passion for shoes was really really high. Really, just sitting here just brings back memories. The crazy thing is I haven't stepped in this. Well, I stepped inside this little shack we have, this little storage room we have, just to look at things, find some stuff over there. But I haven't sat down in this seat for at least 4 or 5 months. 4 or 5 months, guys. I haven't sat down in this seat, and just sitting in this seat just brings back so much memories of when I was just free. I was just free to do whatever I wanted to do. Just thinking about it just makes me emotional. Not emotional, but sensitive, because this was my happy place. This is where I came. If I had problems going on, I would come in here and I would feel safe. And it just it breaks me because I abandoned it. I abandoned my place where if I had trouble, I would come here and just do what restore shoes was like my thing to get away from everything. And just looking back at it and sitting down here, I just remember all the things I went through. I would be here sweating in the summer and like 110 degrees, and I don't have an AC, I just have a fan. And it would just get so hot in here. I would sweat, my shirt would be covered in sweat. And there were times where I would cut myself with knives and shit, and I would start bleeding. And it just brings back so much memories of the fun time I had in here. Like, I would play my music all loud. I would be here until like 2 or 3 in the morning. Just sitting down here in my seat just brings back so much memory of how much effort I put into this. And thank God, when I started it, okay, so I started this business back in 2019. Um, it was around February. I would work with my parents, but it wasn't serious. Like, I would just go just to help them out, so I wouldn't get much from it because I wouldn't even try either. Like, I would be forced to go, so I would just be picking like, like that. Like, I wouldn't care. Like, I didn't want to go to work, so I'd get paid a little bit. And over like the past month, like before February, like I had saved up a little bit of money, and it was like NBA All Star Weekend when the Infrared Six. I don't know if you guys remember those shoes, Infrared Sixes with Nike Air. They were about to drop, and I had money, but I didn't have enough of it. I didn't have enough to buy the shoes, so I asked my dad, "Hey, Dad, can I borrow some like this amount of money so I can buy these shoes?" Because I remember when they came out. It was back in 2014, so I was like what, eighth grader around there. I was a junior at the time when the Infrared Sixes. So the last time they had dropped was in 2014, And that means I was a sixth grader or seventh grader. I can't remember, but I remember when they dropped. One of my friends had them, and I just looked at him and I fell in love with the shoe. Sixes are just it's my favorite. I'm just gonna let you guys know six is my favorite shoe. So I saw the shoe and I fell in love with it immediately. I was like, I need to have that shoe. But at the time when I was a sixth grader, we didn't have much money, so my parents couldn't go out and just buy a $150, 160. I forgot the retail price. Like they couldn't go out and buy that shoe. And so when the time came in 2019 when they dropped again, I knew I had to have them. So I asked my dad for money, for the rest of the money, and he said yeah. And by accident, I was gonna search up Jordan 6 review, like that Jordan 6 infrared 2019 review. And by accident, I put Jordan 6 infrared restoration, just like that. Like I just clicked down, and it moved to restoration instead of review. So when I clicked restoration, I was like, "What is this?" Like I meant to put review, and I seen the video. The title card was a beat shoot, and the after was the when he had restored it. It was like it was a pretty big difference. So I was like, okay, let me check it out. And so I clicked the video, and I got hooked on right away. Like I was so into the video, I was like, let me see another video, and I just kept watching and watching and watching videos. And at the time we're shooting, I came across Vic Almighty on one of my videos, and I seen Rejuvenator, because the other guys were just cleaning it with like dish soap and stuff like that. And when I saw a video of Vic Almighty, I see Rejuvenator everywhere. Rejuvenator this, Rejuvenator that, Rejuvenator this. So I was like, let me check out Rejuvenator. And at the time is when they used to have their old brand, so it was like the bluish color branding, and they used to have paint. They used to have a bunch of stuff, more stuff than they do now. And I was like, why don't I invest my money I have right now into a shoe restoration or shoe detailing business. It was a big risk at the time for me because we're in high school. Not some people do have money, some people don't. So I was like, this is a pretty big risk for me. Like I'm about to spend. I bought their deluxe at the time, which was like $120, $130, $140. So it was a big amount of money for me at the time. So I told myself, like, this is a big risk. Like this is a hit or miss. Like this could work, or this would just fail. And I took the risk. I told my friends about it at the time. They were like, don't worry, man, we'll have your back. Whatever happens, we'll have your back. If you want to start it. Whatever happens, we'll be here for you. And so I told my dad about it. I was like, okay, I want to start a business, Dad. Like, I noticed around school a lot of people have dirty shoes. This could be like a pretty good business, because who wants to go to school with shoes dirty? I don't. But my shoes were dirty at the time, so I was like, I don't want to go to school with shoes dirty. And I told him, he's like, yeah, that sounds like a pretty good idea. Like, a lot of people have dirty shoes at school. You can start up this business. They can come clean them all the time. So I said, all right, let's do it. And so I bought the kit. And I was just watching like I would watch a lot of videos. Like I got a week and a half later, the package came in, but I didn't start cleaning that exact day. Like I would still watch more and more videos so I can get an understanding of how it works. How do you do this? How do you do that? And at the time I was just watching cleaning videos. Like I would watch the actual restorations, but I would just focus on the cleaning area, because I just had the cleaning stuff. I didn't have a heat gun, paintbrushes, paint, airbrushes. I didn't have anything to do like the more advanced stuff, so I would just focus on clean. And so I decided to clean my parents' shoes first and my shoes first, just to experiment and see how it works. And it would work. Like you can see the difference. And so like 3 days later, that I made it publicly. I'm like, I clean shoes now. Like I'm starting to clean shoes. If you want your shoes clean, bring them down. I'll clean them for free, because I'm barely starting out and I need to figure out stuff. I remember my first client. My first client was my friend Ivan Sanchez. I don't know if you're looking at this. If you see this video, man, hit me up, because you got free restorations for life, man. I kept posting that I cleaned shoes, and I had cleaned the shoes, and you can see the difference. Like they were clean, clean, clean. And so more people were like, "Hey man, like I'm interested in this. Can you clean my shoes?" And I was like, "Yeah, for sure, man. I got you. Like just bring them down, and or I can pick them up at school." And he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm down. Let's do it." And so I got his shoes and I cleaned them up. My second client was a guy named Brandon Garcia. I don't know if you guys, nah, they're probably not gonna watch this video, but that was his name, Brandon Garcia. He was my second client. He brought me two shoes. He brought me two shoes. It was a pair of Winlike 8211s and the alternate 89 sixes. And those came out pretty damn good too. Like the pictures were so good, like people were starting to notice like, hey, he cleans shoes. I started charging $8 after the first week. And a lot of people were saying like, hey man, $8 is a little bit too, it's like a little bit of money. You're not gonna make profit and all that. They were just saying like, why do you charge so low? My answer was just that my main focus was high schoolers at the time, and a lot of high schoolers like back then they didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have money. We didn't work. We were in high school, so not a lot of kids had money. So I was like, let me make it $8 so everyone can afford it. So that was just my simple answer to that. It's just that I want to make it affordable for everyone. And yeah, $8 is how I started off. A lot of people came. My name was getting out there. Like, hey, this guy cleans shoes and he's doing pretty good. And then after 2 weeks of just cleaning shoes, I looked at paint because all the main like restorers were using this paint called Angelus Shoe Brand or Angelus Shoe Paint. So I started looking at it. And I was like, maybe I can start doing more advanced restorations, like the painting things. And so I said I invested another $100 into the paint itself. Like I ordered a bunch of paint, and yeah, like I was just looking at videos. I didn't go publicly about like painting until like a week after I started like practicing on my shoes. And yeah, like I would mess up a lot of my shoes. My first shoe I like painted was my old pair of white cement fives. Like the paint on the midsoles was so gone, it was really bad. So I was like, all right, let me paint these and let me just practice. And yeah, like my first midsole repaint was alright. It wasn't the best. I'll admit it wasn't the best midsole repaint, but it was something, you know. It was a step forward into that area of advanced restorations. And yeah, then a week after I went out publicly. I'm like, I paint shoes now. So if you have any midsole repaints or anything like that, just let me know. And I wish I would have practiced or like watched more videos, because I would mess up a lot of midsoles, especially smooth midsoles like the Jordan 4 midsoles. Like those are super smooth. I would use acetone, and I would put a lot of acetone on the cotton ball, and I would scrub really hard to the point where the midsoles were like crumbling. So I messed up a lot of shoes. Luckily, they weren't that bad. Clients weren't mad at it. They were just like, it's okay, man. Like you're just starting now. Like I get you. They look better than what they were before. So luckily, a lot of them were cool about it. And yeah, I mean, that's how I started off. Slowly but surely, first it was cleaning, then it was painting, then it was airbrushing, then it was like more and more and more in advanced stuff. Gluing, unyellowing, and everything. Like, thankfully, all glory to God, my restoration was a success. My name was out there, like, hey, he cleans shoes now, like, come to him. And yeah, just looking back at it, all the struggles and everything, like, I would mess up a lot. I messed up a lot of my shoes to learn. I take it as a learning experience, because if I would have done it on the client's shoe, I knew they would have been so mad. Like I ruined pairs. My pairs I ruined. A lot of pairs I ruined. And yeah, I mean, there's always gonna be ups and downs, and those are my downs right there. But thankfully, I was able to learn from them, and thanks to that, like I know how to do stuff a certain way now. And I'm thankful for my restoration business because without it, I wouldn't have met some people that have helped me along the way more in life. They have given me a lot of advice in life. And without this restoration business, I would have never met them. And yeah, I'm just so thankful that it was a success and that it worked out. It worked out a lot, and I'm just forever thankful for this place. Last year, last year too was like another big year for me. I was just doing restorations and like I would just do. I just had one job at the time, man. So I was able to do a lot of restorations up until February of this year. That's when I started stopping. Like I don't know what happened to me. I just I just needed a break from it because as much as I love this place, as much as I love doing restorations, it was really stressful. It's a stressful business. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's really stressful, especially when it comes to like prepping stuff, like shoes. When you have to prep them for glue or repaint, like the taping and all that. It's just really bad. Like you have to take your time on it because if you rush your job, like your work, you are not gonna get good results. And so I would have to be so patient to get everything correct. And the thing that really like stressed me out the most was gluing because at the time I wasn't the best like at gluing stuff. Little spot gluing, yeah, I was good at it, but full reglues, I was really bad at them. And I messed up a lot of pairs of shoes. And like I don't know how. Thankfully, the customers are not. They weren't that like. They weren't mad about it. They're like, it's okay, man. Like you tried your best and all that. And yeah, I mean, mhm, there were. It's just it would come. It would be stressful. And the thing that stressed me out the most was paint matching. Paint matching was the worst because I would waste a lot of paint. It would take me hours, hours to get a certain color, especially when it comes to a blue or gray color. Those take forever to match. And sometimes like I would just stop and just paint it whatever mix I had because I just couldn't get it. Like I didn't know what other colors to add to the mix. But most of them were like this close to getting perfectly matched, so it didn't look that bad, you know. But deep down I felt bad because it's not 100% correct. Like I was the type of like details matter. And if, for me, if the color wasn't matched, like I wouldn't be satisfied. And that comes with all the things I did and the like cleaning. If it didn't match my standard of like how clean it is, I wouldn't charge you. I'd give your shoes back. Like they could be so clean and they could be like the tiniest like little spot that I couldn't clean. I would give you your money back. Like it just didn't meet my standard. And so I would just give back your money and the shoes. Like the shoes were so clean, but it could be like the tiniest spot that it had, and I would just be like no, I don't feel satisfied at all. Here's your money back, man. Like I'm not gonna charge you for it. It just didn't meet my standard, and that's how it was for everything too. Like if it didn't meet my standard, it just I wouldn't charge you for it. And if you can ask around, my cleans were so like my before and afters. If you go to my Instagram, you can see my before and afters, and you can see the difference in the before and the after. Like my work was so good at the time, and so yeah, like if it didn't meet my standard, whether it was gluing, painting, or anything else, just anything in general, like if it didn't meet my standard, I wouldn't charge you for it. Like I would give you your money back. And yeah, up until last year of February, that's when I stopped. Like I noticed in myself, like I wasn't enjoying it no more. Like I would rush my work too. Like I knew something was going on, but at the time I didn't know what was going on. I was like, why? Like I would get so stressed with just cleaning. Like it was just weird. It was different. It was not me. Like I would enjoy cleaning shoes. Like if I had something going on inside my house or like a problem, like I would come here and clean shoes, and I would enjoy it. I would love cleaning shoes. And so when that started happening, me noticing that I wasn't enjoying shoes and it was more like stressing me out, I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what was going on. And it was like that until like the end of February. That's when I was like, nah, man, I think I'm losing my passion for shoes. I think I'm losing my passion for it. And like I tried to continue, but I just couldn't. I couldn't go on anymore. Like it was just stressing me out. I don't know for what reason. Like it just happened from one day to another. Like my passion was just slowly declining. And I tried to continue, but it wasn't the same. Like it wasn't it wasn't the same no more. Like just my passion was declining for it, and I really noticed. I was like, maybe I'm losing it, like losing my passion for shoes. And surely enough, like 2 weeks later, I just stopped. I stopped cleaning shoes. I stopped posting. I stopped doing this and that. Like I just stopped completely. Completely stopped. And yeah, I don't know what happened to me. It's just I lost my passion for shoes. I still had my other job, and months went by. Like I wouldn't come in here. Like I would still have stuff like I needed to finish, but it was just my shoes I needed to finish. And I told myself I'm gonna try back in the summer. In the summer, I'm gonna come back. But something happened, and I ended up finding another job that was really good. I ended up working at a restaurant as a chef, and I would work two. So I had two jobs now. My first one was in the mornings. The fruit picking, oranges or anything like that, any citrus fruit. And so that was in the mornings, and in the afternoons it was the restaurant business. And only I had like 2 hours in between each job, so I would just sleep. And so like I knew restorations wasn't gonna come back soon. Like I knew I wasn't gonna come back soon anytime. I wasn't gonna come back anytime soon. And it was like that for like the longest too. Like I started working at that restaurant for like 4 months, 4 months around there, 4 or 5 months, like that. And it's just I never came back to restorations. I never came back to this place, and things happened, and I had to leave the restaurant. And so now for like a month, I was unemployed. Like I didn't have an income. Like, I had money saved up, so I wasn't worried about that. But I didn't have a job anymore, cause there's like a little time between like October and November. Oh, November and October, where like the season ends for the orange, and so there's like no work. And so that happened around that time. So I was unemployed. I didn't have a job. But thankfully, because of everything that happened in the restaurant and everything, like I had a good amount of money saved up, so like I wasn't worried. And I wanted to come back. Like I came back here once in October, and I started cleaning the shoe and took some orders in, but it just wasn't the same anymore. Like I tried, but I couldn't. Like I did the work. Like it came out good. Like it came out pretty damn good. But my passion wasn't there no more. Like I felt it. I was like, no, like I don't feel it no more. But just because I didn't feel it, like doesn't mean that like, I didn't try on the shoes. Like I did a pretty good job on the shoes. Like came out flawless. But when I was doing them, like I just didn't feel the passion. It wasn't there no more. And so yeah, like that happened. So I was like, nope, I'm not gonna continue anymore. And yeah, like a couple like 2 weeks later, I ended up finding work again, and this time was working at Palm, the Palm Wonderful, whatever it's called, the juice, the pomegranate juice. So I started working there, and I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, like that work really, like I was just so mentally drained from that place, because I would do 12-hour shifts, and I would start work at 3 p.m. and leave at 3 a.m. I would go in and see that guy working, and he would leave. 12 hours gone by, and I see him again, and I was like, what? Like, you're back already? Like, it's been 12 hours? And my mind was just like it couldn't like, I don't know, my mind is, like, I couldn't process it. Like, it's been 12 hours already, and he's back. And I would go home at 4 a.m., and I would sleep until 12. And so that meant I had to be at work by like 2:40. So that meant I only had 2 hours to get ready again. So all I would do is just shower and make food, and that's it. And I would go back again, and he'd still be there. And so my mind was just couldn't process like Like, it's just 12 hours. Like, I only have 2 hours of the day to do anything. And I would just spend it taking a shower and making food. Like, and I would go back in. And my mind just couldn't like, my mind was trying to process it. Maybe because I'm weak-minded like that, but my mind couldn't process what was going on. Like, 12 hours had gone by and he's still here. He leaves, 12 hours go by, he's back again. I go home, I come back, he's still there. Like, maybe I'm just weak-minded like that, but my mind couldn't process that thought. Like, hey, 12 hours, you're literally working 12 hours. You go home, you sleep, you only have 2 hours to do anything. And it was like that for 2 weeks. And it mentally drained me. Like, luckily we had some days off, but from what I heard, that thing is all 7 days a week, all 7 days of the week. And it was just hard for me. Like, I've never worked 12 hours. Like, I've worked 17 hours, but I would get sleep and I would get some time for myself. But now I was doing just strictly 12 hours. And for the longest, I didn't see my sister and I didn't see my brother. My brother goes to school. He leaves around 7 a.m. and he doesn't come back. He didn't come back until like 3:30. So that means I didn't see him for like 2 weeks straight. I did not see my brother or my sisters. And that really like hurt me, like, cuz my I love my brother. I love my siblings. I love them. And not seeing them smile or talk to me, it's just like it really broke me. It broke me cuz I couldn't see them for 2 weeks. And and there was we had a day off after like 2 weeks, and that day I just literally hugged my brothers and sisters. Like, I was just so happy to see them again because I hadn't seen them for 2 weeks. And yeah, it just mentally, it broke me. It literally drained me mentally. Just the thought of working 12 hours a day and not doing anything else but work. Like, I would go home and sleep and just have 2 hours for myself. Sometimes I would wake up at 1 because I was that tired. And thankfully, they changed my shift now. I work in another department, but it's from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. It's 8 hours, but it's all night. But thankfully now this one, like, gives me a lot of time in the afternoon to do whatever I want. But I'm probably gonna leave that job soon because it's not for me. Those hours are not for me. Maybe they switch my hours to morning shift and I get on the afternoon would be good. We'll see what happens. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much what's been going on. Like, I pretty much gave you a history of how I started this. But yeah, I don't know, my passion's not there no more, guys. It's just gone. Maybe too much work just killed it for me. Maybe it's just that. I don't know. But yeah, guys, that's where I've been at. Everything's alright. It's just, I'll probably come back sometime next month. Sometime next month I'll come back. Hopefully. If everything works out too with everything I have going on right now, then yeah, probably by January or February I'll come back. Because it just hurts me that I abandoned this place from one day to another. But thankfully I met a lot of good people through this business. I met a lot of good people that have helped me along the way, and for that I am forever thankful for this place. And all the knowledge that I have. Like, I have a lot of knowledge. Like, a lot of good times in this place happen. So much work, so much experimenting with stuff just to figure out if it's gonna work or not. But yeah, guys, that's where I've been at. That's pretty much my history of everything that's been going on in my life right now. Just been working, just don't have time for shoes. Mainly because my passion is gone. But if everything is good by next year, in January or February, I'll come back. I'll most likely come back. If I can get a shift change, then yeah, I'll most likely come back into this place and start working part-time again. Because like I said, like, I would love restoring shoes. I would love doing this. I was so in love with cleaning. And just how much stuff I invested in, like, so much stuff that I still have from like a year ago. Like, these tapes are still packaged. Like, I still haven't taken off the seal. These have been like that for the past year. my light I haven't used in years. My cleaners have all dried out. I need to restock on that, but yeah, guys, that's where I've been at. Everything's good. Life's been good. It was just that period of time that really like killed me back in like this past month in November. Just the thought of 12 hours and the whole thing. I'm just glad that they changed my schedule because it wasn't working for me. Like it was literally killing me. But thankfully, I'm past that little moment that happened, and everything's fine now. Everything's good. And yeah, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't much, it's just me explaining what happened. And yeah, but if everything's good, guys, I'll probably come back next year in January or February, because I have a lot of DMs from people that have been telling me for like the past year, like, hey bro, you still clean shoes, you still clean that, and I have never gotten back to them because I haven't logged into my restoration, my Instagram page, my restoration page. I haven't logged in a year, so there's still a lot of messages that I still have to read and get back to. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now, guys. Everything's good, everything's fine. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was just me explaining what has been going on with my life. But yeah, everything's good, guys, and I hope all of you guys are doing. Don't let anyone bring you down. Never. Don't let anyone bring you down. Always keep your head up high and keep pushing forward, man. That's all I gotta say to you guys. Like, don't let anyone bring you down. If they tell you no, you can't because you just can't, screw them. Push them to the side and push forward, guys. You guys got this. Anything is possible in this life. If you really try for it, anything's possible. And yeah, guys, well, hope you guys like this video. I'll be back, guys. Pretty soon I'll be back. And one thing, watch the videos too. Watch my old videos and watch the ads, because I need that profit. I need to get that money back. Nah, I'm just messing with you guys. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video, and thank you to all those that have supported me and have checked up on me. Whether that be on Snapchat or if you have my number. Because a lot of people have been checking up on me. They'll be like, hey man, you okay? Like, you haven't posted and all that. So yeah, guys, thank you for those that have checked up on me, and I'll be back soon, guys. I promise. I'll be back soon. And thank you guys for everything. Whether you watch my videos, you like my posts on Instagram or anything, or you just comment or share my photos, thank you. Thank you to all those that have just showed love to me and supported me through all these years. Love you guys for that. And yeah, guys, I promise to be back soon. So goodbye for now, and yeah, guys, just keep going forward, man. Anything's possible. Thank you, guys. Goodbye for now.